I'm Don Smith.
And I'm Bill Cartwright. Welcome.
I'm really excited about the program today because a couple of weeks ago we visited the Miami Valley Veterans Museum, and our friend Steve and Clorinda King had suggested to me that we do a program there. They volunteer there, and I'm really glad that we did. It'll be upcoming in just a few minutes, but first we've got some things to talk about.
Yeah, so what you been doing lately?
Well, you know, when you talk about things going on, there's always something. But this time, we since the last program, as our regular viewers know, we do family dinner out once a month. And if you can't make it, you just miss out. And I thought that I wasn't going to be able to make it, but I have a board meeting of another organization that was on the same night, but they changed the day.
There you go.
So I got to go to the family dinner out. We went to El Sombrero, which is a nice place. I like to support local. And
absolutely, yeah.
And they do a nice job. So we went there, and then we were invited to the Cartwrights to have a celebration. And so we went to a celebratory dinner for Nikki, which you might remember if you watched our program again regularly, that she cooked a strawberry rhubarb pie with cream pie with us on one of the programs.
It was
and
good.
It just so happened to be her, 12th or 14th birthday?
I think it was,
something like that.
Yeah.
And so we got invited to be a part of her birthday dinner, and that was really a nice event too.
Yep.
And then we had the Piqua Caldwell Historic District Board meeting, and we're working on a variety of things. It seems to be that we're not going to be able to have our Christmas walk this year. We have kind of run out of houses that are willing to do the walk. There are some that we'd like to have, but the families who live in them are not interested in opening the doors for the general public. So I think we're going to have to skip a year. We may have to go back to maybe an every 2-year thing. We just haven't quite got that all figured out. But I know that the Haunted Tour is coming up, and we do have tickets for sale for that right now. And then we're going off in a few days to Texas, and we're going to spend a little over a week in Texas on a ranch down there. A friend of ours owns the ranch. He's not even going to be there. He said, come down and enjoy the ranch. So we're going to do that. And so that's our stuff. And then now it's your turn. Tell us what you've been doing.
Well, of course, working at Bethany, as usual, which I thoroughly enjoy doing. We have a good group there.
You know, we should tell them too that we're going to have another program from the Bethany, and we're going to go through all the different parts of the Bethany.
Yes, we are, and that'll be a lot of fun. That, and then of course celebrating my youngest daughter's birthday. And there again, she hit a milestone, but we won't go into that because I'm sure she
must have been 20.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Anyway, it makes you think that you're getting old. But so both of our daughters are in that category now. So
well, when people look at us, they know the kid can't be that young.
That's true. That is true. Yeah. With a lot of miles on these bodies, let me tell you. But we've been doing that, and of course we've got some trips coming up that are going to be a lot of fun. A family weekend trip down to Tennessee, Sevierville for a weekend.
Oh, I like Sevierville.
Yeah, Sevierville, and so that'll be a lot of fun. And we're going to go to one of our favorite restaurants. That's called the Local Goat. Is the name of the restaurant. But I'll tell you what, it may be Local Goat, but it's really good food. And we enjoy that so much. But other than that, we're just staying in the cabin, and chilling. So, and then we have another trip coming up where we'll be going to on a cruise, another cruise, and we're good. It'll be a lot of fun. It's 14 days, so it'll be a good time with that. And that'll be just my wife and I. So, but yep, that's basically what I've been doing. So.
Okay, and I bet you got some events too.
Yes, we have a few. Downtown Pickwick Chocolate Walk. If you like chocolate, this will be a good event. September 26th, 3 to 7 p.m. Downtown Pickwa. You can purchase tickets for $20 and just spend a delightful evening visiting our 20 downtown Pickwa businesses and picking up chocolate treats along the way. So that should be a lot of fun if you like chocolate. Plus, it lets you get to know what downtown Pickwa has to offer. There's a lot of neat little shops downtown that have a lot of unique things. It's a lot of fun. So that's a chocolate walk. And then, of course, we have one of the September 20th, well, let me just go. The Tip City Mum Festival, okay? September 27th through September 28th. Now, the first event for the Mum Festival is September 26th, 4 to 10. And this is a Mum Festival cruise-in. So, and from what I understand, I've talked to my son-in-law and all that, he goes to a lot of car shows. And he says this is one of the biggest and one of the best, literally in the state or in a big area. I mean, it's really one of the better car shows. I mean, they have it every year, and it's literally hundreds of classic cars are down in downtown Tip City. So he said it's a really cool setting. You can walk the streets, and they have all these cars. It's just amazing. So that's September 26th, 4 to 10 p.m. Excuse me. And then September 27th to 28th is the Tip City Mum Fest, which is an annual thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a lot of fun. So that's, like I said, the 27th, 28th, and then Run for the Mums 5K, which is on the 27th. And that's from 8 to 9:30 a.m. There again, I'm sure you'll participate in Run for the Mums.
I'm all about that.
It's a 5K run, and it's at 8 a.m. Well, right there disqualifies you because you don't get up.
I don't get up at 8 a.m.
Yeah. But it's Run for the Mums, sponsored by Tip City Monroe Community Services in conjunction with the Tip City Mum Festival. We'll have the website for you to go to get more information on the Mum Festival and everything that's going on there. And then in Troy, Long Shots Driving Range, do you know where that's at?
Yep, I saw it. It's 25A.
25A, yeah, 25A. So that's in the south part of 25A. But it's an annual Oktoberfest at Long Shots, and coming in hot, and you don't want to miss a second of it. But the activities are wiener dog races. Stay tuned for more info and ticket sales. Stein hoisting competition, which I'm sure big beer steins. Yep. And team beer relay, live music schedule. Pete Presser from 12 to 3 p.m. and Keaton Fout 3 to 6 p.m. But anyway, that looks like, if you like Oktoberfest, that should be a really fun time. And then at the APAC, visiting Credence at the APAC. So it's Credence Clearwater Revival, and that's a group coming in. That's September 27th, 7 to 9:30 p.m. For more information, you can go to APAC. ArborgastAPAC.com. And for tickets and all that, we'll have the website on at the end of the show. But that should be a good concert. I'm going to go to that one. And then Troy didn't want to be outdone by Piqua, so Troy is doing a downtown chocolate walk also. It's kind of like the same thing as in Piqua and all that, but it's local businesses offering sweet treats and all that. So participants will pre-register and purchase tickets on a first-come, first-served basis, so you can get down there. For more information, you can go to troymainstreet.org. So that'll be at the end of the show. We'll have that, and then the film series at Troy Hayner, and I bet you like this one, Wizard of Oz is the movie. They put it on. It's free. You can go have popcorn and some sodas. Excuse me. And then the film starts at 7 p.m. But like I said, it's free, October 3rd, 7 p.m. So that should be a lot of fun. And then, of course, last but not least, the Bradford Pumpkin Show, October 7th through October 11th. You can go to the website, www.bradford-pumpkin-show.org. And that goes on every year. I don't know if you've ever been.
Oh, I've been there. You
get spitting confetti out of your mouth the whole time.
When you're a kid, the most fun part is walking down the street and getting somebody with their mouth open and whop.
Yeah. So anyway.
My mom used to make us take our clothes off out in the back. So that we wouldn't have confetti all over the house.
All over the house. All right. So anyway, that's, like I said, October 7th through October 11th. It's always a good time. They have bands and they have just all kinds of fun things to do. So that's the events.
Well, guess what? I got a piece of trivia because we're running out of time before we have to go down to the museum. Okay. Do you know why Veterans Day is November 11th?
No, not for sure.
Well, that's the day that World War I ended.
That's right.
And so they called it Armistice Day.
Armistice.
Yeah, it's hard to say, especially on TV. It's easier to home.
Yeah.
But anyway, Armistice Day was November 11th, and back in the day, Eisenhower, our president, decided to change it from Armistice Day to Veterans Day, so that we honor all veterans and not just World War I veterans. So that was really good.
I think that's good. Well, I tell you what, I think it's about time we roll our visit to the Miami Valley Veterans Museum.
I think so too, so let's show that video.
Hello. Well, we've made it. We're
all the way from Piqua.
All the way from Piqua, clear to here. No, it's. I'm excited to go in and see what the museum has to offer. It's really, really cool. Miami Valley Veterans Museum is just. They have a lot of great things in there, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
And they're going to share it all with us. So let's go in and find Amy, because Amy Cost is the executive director, and she's going to help us make the tour. Elders first, you know.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
We came to see Amy. Is she available to us?
Just a minute, I shall find her. If I could get you gentlemen to sign in.
Sure.
You're waiting for me to find Amy. We like to keep track of our business.
All right, we can do that.
And here's Amy.
There's Amy. Hi.
She got back.
Bill Cartwright.
Amy Cost,
Hi, Amy.
Executive Director. Yeah, we keep track of our numbers for grants.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. We always keep track of how many visitors we have.
Okay,
Because
that's
it makes us eligible for grants.
Well, that's an important part of a nonprofit, to be able to get some grant dollars now and then.
Absolutely.
So it's I've not been here.
Yes.
And to walk in, I was totally impressed and amazed right from the beginning.
I tell you, people don't realize when they look from the front how far back.
How far back you go.
And I'm anxious to get back there.
It's
So
deep, so you want to get started.
So take us.
I'd like to start with the F-16 simulator.
Oh,
They have an F-16 simulator
Wow.
from Wright-Patterson. So
that's
that is
exciting.
pretty
Yeah.
cool,
So
yeah.
we're going to go to the simulator,
Yes,
which is
we're
this
gonna
way.
go this way.
We're gonna go
Yes.
Okay.
crash your
All
plane.
right, the simulator.
Yes, Bill and Dawn, this is Casey Kingham. He's
Hi.
a
Hi,
retired
Casey.
Air Force Master Sergeant, and I'm going to let him tell you about the
Oh,
simulator.
wow. This is
Okay.
cool.
Master Sergeant, that put you in charge. You were a big time.
Yeah, I had a few people under me.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Well, that's good. So tell us about the simulator.
Okay, we acquired the simulator last year from Wright-Patterson, and it was actually at the simulator building that they have on base. It wasn't part of the museum. And one of our vice president, Mitch, his cousin works there, and he had talked to his cousin about getting something for the museum that they had that was extra or, not needed anymore. And he said that the Minnesota Air Guard was looking at it to get it, 'cause it's an actual F-16 fault simulator. It doesn't move or anything, but they could
Right.
do faults on here with a keyboard, and the pilot had to figure out what was going on with the engine or whatever. And so they didn't come down and pick it up. So we said, we'll take it.
Yeah, yeah,
And
absolutely.
so, we had a tow truck driver volunteer his time, the flatbed.
Nice.
Went down there, rolled it out of the simulator building.
Yeah, I'm sure
onto
it's
the truck,
pretty heavy.
And it's on casters.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
so we brought it down here, and he just, tilted the bed, and we rolled it in through the thing, and
Oh, how nice.
And the
What a-
kids love it.
yeah.
Oh, well,
The
of
kids
course.
just love it. Would you like to sit in it?
There you go, Bill.
I'll try.
Okay.
So what you want to do, Bill,
Yes.
this is the actual controller for the simulator.
And this is an actual
You want to hold.
F-16
So what you want to do is put your right
simulator.
foot right here.
So whatever an
Okay.
F-16 looks like.
Step up and hold that.
That's
Okay.
what you're looking at. there.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I'm not going to stand in front of it because you might run over me.
And then where do I put?
Just stand on the seat.
Oh, okay.
And sit down, kind of slide down, and put your feet in the wheel wells there.
Well, you're there for the day.
Lean forward a little bit.
I slid down.
There, we get that up a little bit better.
Okay.
So, this is the actual controller for an F-16.
Okay.
Push on it. See, it doesn't really move. It's all
Oh, no.
pressure. It's all pressure.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I flew one down at Moody. I'm not a pilot or anything. I was munitions, but I was in the flight simulator building. Say, hey, you want to play with the F-16s? Yeah. So it doesn't actually. It's all pressure, and it's an actual. That's an actual stick. But what controls the simulator is my controller here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But just general,
Let me set the mood for you. Ready?
Well, you can set the
playing
mood.
Top Gun. She's playing Top Gun.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So.
There we
That
go.
would be the throttle. So that would go all the way up. That'd be the afterburn stuff. That's your landing gear. A lot of stuff you have to press in or pull out to get it to move because you don't want the G-force in a plane flipping switches.
Flipping switches,
For you.
right,
As you're
right.
doing maneuvers, that would be the ejection seat. If you pulled that, you go through the roof.
When we first got it, Casey was going to
That
get
may
those
be the only way I
snap
can get
things
out of
and
it.
tell the kids not to
Not
pull
to
it.
pull
And
it.
when
I
they
was gonna
do,
throw it down behind.
Oh, there you go. That would be good. Yeah.
And the actual stick would have a elbow rest over here too.
Okay,
You saw
yeah.
that thing. But what I actually have on here is an F-18, and it's a Blue Angel, which is the Navy demonstration team. It's on my computer, but
Okay.
I loaded it, and it's actually controlled by this.
Okay.
So that just goes between your legs. This is the throttle. That's the landing gear. That's an air brake. This changes views, like that's the outside. Takes
Oh,
a minute
okay.
for it to load here.
So anybody comes in can do this.
absolutely, it's free.
Control
Is there
tower.
always somebody here to help them?
When we're open, there's always someone
So
here.
that would be like the
So
view from the
anybody who's
cockpit.
watching could come and try it
So
out.
make it move,
Absolutely.
you gotta
And
do
we
the
are
throttle all
open
the
for
way up.
special events too.
And you
If
gotta
people
click
want to
that button,
contact
that's your
us.
brakes. So the
We
brakes
will
just turn
open
off.
on
So let
off
go of the
hours for events
Steer
or
around
special
somewhere you can
tours.
take
Yes.
off. Maybe not through the building,
Oh no!
but just pull back on it. You'll
Up,
eventually
up!
take
There
off.
you go. You
Doing
cleared the
100
building.
Almost 200 knots there. And so then you want to put up the gear, because you go faster if you put up the gear. And you can check it if you go outside. Now the gear's still You're still down.
Oh,
Just
dude,
hold-
you
just
need some
press
more
it once.
training.
There you go.
You're not going to get in the real plane this week.
You need to spend more time here and practice.
So this just took off in Pensacola, which is their home base for the
Ooh,
movie.
pretty
So
Pensacola.
you're over Florida and everything in the Panhandle. And that's just the bottom view, but you can change this too, kind of level it for you, like the nose view.
Yeah, you're still
You're
going
going, like,
straight
straight
up. Pull back a little bit.
There's the runway down there.
Yeah, there you go.
You put down the gear again, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is harder
The
than it looks.
kids,
You think that's hard? Wait till you try and get out.
we had a
That's what I thought. Ejection button.
girl, and she just, I mean, picked it right up. I mean, no hesitation. Yeah, you do that. Oh yeah, she had it. You know.
Oh, the
Maybe
little
she-
girl in the paper, Addie
Well, she
Lou.
was 8. There's another little girl, I think, that was
Older?
4, got in it. Yeah, she knew everything about it.
Well, I imagine the young kids would know more than us older people because
That's
they
true.
play
They
games.
play
Yep.
games all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, so they've got it down.
Okay,
There
well,
you got the gear up finally.
yeah.
All
Now
right.
you're flying around.
Hey, you're flying straight, kinda.
Kinda.
Well, you know, it is a show plane.
It is definitely. You're
You can do
doing
it.
quite a few maneuvers there.
And this model on here is really not representative. They don't fly with bombs and missiles on them.
Right.
They're slick. You know, they don't have anything on them. Or a tank when they're flying.
Oh, Pensacola looks nice this time of year.
Nice beaches.
Yeah.
Nice scenery.
So now we're in the main entrance of the museum, and the first special display that we have is, of course, William Pitsenbarger.
Yes.
We're all familiar with William Pitsenbarger. There's a park named after him. He won the Congressional Medal of Honor. He was a high school graduate from Piqua, Ohio.
Yep.
I'm Air Force. I was in the Air Force for 25 years, and part of our making rank was learning the Medal of Honor winners. And then all of a sudden in the 2000s, there's a new Medal of Honor winner from Vietnam from Piqua, Ohio. I was in the Air Force and was amazed, and I'm so glad that we have this display to show
Absolutely.
people that he lost his life during Vietnam, and we like to honor
And
his
he saved a huge
Oh,
number of
Huge
people.
number of
hit
people.
the movie,
Yeah.
if you've not seen the movie, Last Full Measure, it explains
Fantastic.
everything that he did. And he was an Air Force pararescueman, and I'm a retired Air Force, so that's like the rock star of the Air Force. And he served in Vietnam, and I just love being able to show him to our
Well,
community.
the interesting thing about it is I was involved with the statue in Piqua that's up.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And the actual statue in Piqua is his actual size.
Yes.
And I was amazed at how small he was, because when you look at that statue, it just looks like a representation of a small person, but he was a very small individual.
Well, and that's one thing about the Special Forces. We don't need big guys. Special Forces are lean, mean fighting machines. They are
Yep.
not big boned, but they have tenacity and they have stamina.
Yeah,
So
it's
and
amazing.
he was one. So that's-
He was
Pitsenbarger
one,
is
yeah.
the awe of that.
Yeah,
Yes. So
yes.
glad we can highlight
Okay,
him.
so where else you want to show us?
So this next display here is our display. We just finished this in Troy, Ohio Cemetery. There are 20 men that served in the 54th Regiment. You might know 54th from watching the movie Glory.
Glory, yeah.
Yeah, in the movie Glory, they highlighted the 54th, and when you watch it, you think all those people are from Missouri, but no, in fact, they were conscribed from all over the United States, and right here in Ohio, there was like 300 men served in the 54th from Ohio, and 20 of them are buried right here in Riverside Cemetery. So we wanted to honor their service, and there was just recently a historical marker for those men of color that served in the Civil War and helped turn the tide of the Civil
Nice.
War. So we like to put them at rest, and I like to call that guy Denzel.
Yeah, he kind of looks that way,
He does
doesn't
look
he? Yeah, he does.
If you ever see the movie, it
Yeah.
looks like them. So
Yeah.
so if you want to keep going forward, I'll show you the rest.
Okay.
So this is where our collection starts. Of course, it starts at the beginning of our history. The oldest archive we have here, these are items that are from the War of 1812. This is the oldest certificate we have in the museum. This is a officer commission from 1819.
Wow.
And if you ever want to know, why we should teach cursive writing? It's because if they don't know how to read cursive, a lot of historical documents are inert because no
Yep,
one can read them.
nobody can read them, yeah.
So this is the oldest case, War of 1812. All of our archive was donated by veterans. This is a War of 1812 snare drum that was carried in battle. This is the oldest textile we have in our museum. It's a militia shirt from 1825. Can you believe it held up from 1825? Look at that cotton.
I know.
Yeah, it's amazing. So then we head into the Civil War. This is our Civil War case. I like to point out that first, all the different, you could be shot with all different kinds of bullets. This
It was
is
brutal too.
It was brutal. It was the Civil War uniform here from the Civil War, and I like to point out that these buttons are CSA, that's Confederate States of America, so that's a Confederate uniform that we have there. And the case is full of archive from the Civil War donated by local veterans.
Wow, nice.
Then we come around the corner and we start to enter World War I. As we enter World War I, I like to point out that this armband from World War I and the dog tags. During Civil War, we didn't have dog tags. There was no way to recognize people. People were buried in mass graves and people didn't know if their loved ones were coming home because they didn't know if they died or not.
Yeah.
So during World War I, they finally said, okay, we need to have some kind of method to identify people on the battlefield. So that's when the invention of dog tags came along. And that's an example of those first dog tags.
Nice.
World War I is here. World War I like to point out, and maybe it's because I'm a lady, but in order to get them right in my mind, if you ever see a uniform like that with the collar up, it's World War I. They lowered the collars in World War II, we'll get to that. And also, if you ever see pulleys, see those leg wrappings? They're called pulleys. And if you look at the uniform right around the corner here, this man right here, I like to use this as an example.
He has it on, yeah.
During World War I, they had these, feel this.
Oh, yeah.
Could you get material any rougher?
No.
And they had to hook these collars.
Oh,
I've
that
been
would be
told this
real
one will
uncomfortable.
hook, but I don't want to pull it that tight. But can you imagine having that
Oh,
around your
scratchy.
neck,
Ugh.
scratchy? Talk about leather neck.
And in the heat.
That's why,
Yeah.
leather neck. And the pulleys, you'll see an example of that.
Yeah.
That's World War I. All the pieces are from World War I and they're all donated.
That's amazing. So people just find you and say, I've got this in my closet, would you like to have it?
It's amazing to me sometimes sitting here and someone comes in with a box from their basement and they say, I found this in my basement, and I open it up and it's World War II archives. And I'll show you as we move on.
So really, those of you who are out there watching, if you find any of those things in family homes, you're cleaning out maybe grandpa's stuff or something, and
Yeah,
you find that
bring 'em
this
down.
would be the place to
Yes,
Yes,
we
bring 'em
house
here.
everything. We have a huge storage building out back that we store things that are not in the collection, and we take care of it, we clean it, we put it on display if we have a place for it. We're trying to make more room for more displays, but we have a huge collection, and yes, we take care of it. And I just want to mention this too. I just advertised that we're having a barn sale, and someone put on Facebook, don't sell my mom's World War II uniform. We never ever sell our military collection, but we get a lot of stuff in archives that are not military, like an alien doll I just found in a box, right? I'm not going to put that on our collection, so I'm going to sell it at our barn sale, but our collection is primo, and it started as a private collection that was then taken over by veterans. So
Well, it's amazing.
Thank
It's
you.
amazing.
That's
Yeah.
we're going to move to World War II. World War II is the largest section. Watch yourself. There you go. World War II is the largest section in the museum. World War II was a huge war, both fronts. This is where we bring in the civilians. We bring in the home front. Everybody was interested. Two wars, both sides, Japan and Germany. And this is also when women entered the battlefield. And if you notice, women have their collars down, and so do all of the uniforms from World War II. somebody in their right mind decided that we
Yeah.
needed to make our soldiers and sailors more comfortable. But the women you see, women entered the battlefield as truck drivers and supply and nurses and admin. This is huge collection of World War II archives. I actually have a pamphlet that states back in World War II, we encourage you to bring battlefield souvenirs home, right? They were encouraged to bring stuff home during World War II. That's why our collection is so large. I like to point out a couple items in World War II.
Your mannequins really help too. They really make the whole thing more real.
You wouldn't believe how hard we have to try to find the right mannequins. We get a lot of donated mannequins from JCPenney's where women are like,
Yeah.
but the men, we have a hard time, and we have to buy these things too. So we have to raise money to help
So that's another form of donation for you, is to collect money from people who
Absolutely.
have the ability to have a little extra that they can give you to help.
Absolutely. Yes, we need to keep the lights on. Everyone that works here, no one gets paid. I'm the executive director, our board president, no one gets paid. We all work for free. Most of us are veterans. We have a lot of volunteers that are not veterans. But I want to bring attention to this case because there's something in this case that I always have to talk about. In this case, this is our World War II German on this side. Well, a little bit of Italian. There's an Italian rifle. But this man here, Harry Christie, he was a Tip City resident, and he gave us an affidavit before he passed away. He's passed away. But he donated this bowl, and he gave us this affidavit that says, I was in General Patton's Third Army and fortunate enough to visit the site of Birkenstein Gardens, Hitler's Eagle's Nest in Bavaria.
Yeah.
And he retrieved this bowl, that's his picture, he retrieved this ceramic bowl out of Hitler's Eagle's Nest in
wow.
Bavaria, brought it all the way back and donated it to us and gave us this affidavit to show that in fact, and I tell kids when I give them tours, Hitler could have eaten cereal out of that. And then someone told me they didn't have cereal in 1940. They had porridge. So Hitler could have eaten oatmeal out of that bowl, and that's one of the pieces that I always like to bring attention to because that thing has lived a life right there. And so did Harry Christie. And we appreciate anybody that brings us archives. So
Absolutely.
keep coming around here. This side is also very interesting. This is German memorabilia here, a lot of swastikas. Someone came in on a tour and asked me, why do you have swastikas up? And I had to remind them that history's a funny thing. You got to remember both sides. You got to remember the bad with the good so that we can make sure it never happens again. But I like to bring attention to this because, one, I love these little campaign ribbons right here. I just imagine, like, look at that campaign ribbon, right? These little tie tacks and stick pins right there. I can just imagine a German soldier standing in front of the mirror getting ready in the morning and sticking that on his uniform, and then
off he goes.
Off he goes.
But that says 2-burner stove.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did that work?
They must, that was, you put fuel in it, and then the
Screw
flame.
the pan to it or something.
And then,
That's interesting.
Yeah, all these little things. I was in Desert Storm, and I was in from 1986 to 2011 for 25 years, and I served, and every time I deployed to the desert, they warned us within an inch of our lives, you can't bring back a rock. You're not allowed to pick up anything on the battlefield and bring it home. Whereas during World War II, they encouraged them.
I wonder what the difference was, why they did that.
Well, I think because we're moving on to our next conflict, Vietnam. So let's move to Vietnam, and I'll answer that question, because if you notice, this is Vietnam. The majority of our volunteers are Vietnam era. This is a brick out of the Hanoi Hilton, brought back.
So they brought things back, or did he smuggle it back?
Even in Vietnam, it was encouraged to bring back.
Yeah.
Even during Vietnam. Now this is Korea. This is Korea. We have a little bit of archive from Korea. My dad fought in Korea. But the majority of this, and if you come around here, I'm going to show you why they stopped asking people to bring back souvenirs. You ready?
I'm ready.
Do you notice this case? This is Vietnam recovered weapons that were brought back from Vietnam.
Yeah.
I'm thinking this might have become a problem at some point, and we were warned not to bring anything back. Now I'm an ex-cop, and I used to carry weapons, and I'm pretty familiar with weapons, and I like to bring your attention to this Viet Cong homemade gun. Right here. If you know anything about weapons,
Yep.
that weapon right there is homemade, and it is a 5.62 caliber.
Oh, wow.
That is the exact same caliber as an M60 machine gun
Yep.
on a single bolt action, and the functioning of this gun is made so that you pull the bolt back and lock it in place and pull the trigger with an open bolt.
Oh my gosh. Really?
Yes.
Holy mackerel.
So this is slamming that
Slamming down.
bolt forward, hitting
Yeah.
a 5.62 and going boom and knocking whoever. I know I would never shoot that. It would knock me off my
Oh,
butt.
yeah.
And it would be scary to shoot.
It
Imagine
would.
having weapons like this coming back during Vietnam and filtering
It wouldn't be
in.
very handy either.
What would you use that
the
for
battle.
other than bragging rights?
Yeah, that would be the only thing. For
Or to scare the heck out of your neighbor? I
Yeah.
don't know.
You can put it above your fireplace.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it doesn't really do it justice until you realize that the caliber of the weapon is such,
huge.
and the mechanism is such. Like, that's crazy. That really could hurt somebody. That
Yeah.
really could hurt somebody. So then we move on to this. I like to bring this uniform into my tour because the man who wore this uniform is a volunteer in here. His name is Steve Quillen, and he was a tunnel rat.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's familiar with tunnel rats.
Oh, yeah.
And if you notice, I told him we wear the same size uniform.
Yeah.
Because remember earlier you were talking about big guys? Little guys were tunnel rats.
Yep.
And if I see Steve around here, I'll introduce
And
you
they
to
had
him.
a terrible job.
And they had a very low life expectancy.
Exactly.
So
When you
that's
say
it.
Steve, was it Steve King?
Steve Quillen.
Okay.
Steve
Quillen.
Quillen, yeah.
I know
No,
Steve
Steve was in
King.
the Navy, so he was on a ship. He didn't have the tunnels.
He could
but
swim.
He could swim, yeah.
You could swim.
Okay, so if you move over here, so this is our wall that we have veterans sign. They built it so that any veteran, are you a veteran?
No.
Are you a veteran? Any veteran that comes into the museum can sign this wall. When I first retired in 2011, I had quite a time looking at these names, hoping that I might see someone that I knew. But I didn't. But a lot of them I have come to know. A lot of the local veterans that are kind of our famous local veterans have signed this wall, listing their service, and anybody that comes in that's a veteran can sign this wall. I've signed it somewhere, but I can't remember where. And it's almost full. We're going to have to build another one.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so if we move this direction, these cases highlight, this is the Army case. Everything in here is Army. This is the Navy case, which I always like to bring that gentleman sitting right there in that photo up there. His name is Gary. He's one of our volunteers, so you might see him shuffling around here today. This case is World War II.
Do you ever take these displays elsewhere and show them?
Not the big ones, but every one of our displays are made by our volunteers. Steve King heads up our building, our displays team. They build these, craft these from scratch, and they are rollable, so we can move them.
Yeah.
Because we have a problem with space at the museum. We need more space. We have more archive than we have space. But I like to bring attention to this piece here because this is Casey Kingham, the man at the F-16 simulator. This jacket belonged to his father. Sergeant Robert Kingham, he was a tail gunner during World War II. And that patch inside the jacket is known as a blood chit. And what it means, what it says in Chinese is basically, this is an American pilot. If you find him and you take care of him and we will give you money. Like they were paying thousands of dollars for the safe return of U.S. pilots. But you're a U.S. pilot, you crash and you're in China, how do you converse? You show them the inside of your jacket and let them read it, and they're like, oh, money, money, and they're taking care of you. So that's kind of cool. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, learn a little bit about military history. If you notice, collars down, World War II, collars up, World War I. Then this section is our more modern conflicts. This is Afghanistan, this is Iraq, this is the global war on terrorism, this is the less collected, but more modern.
More modern,
You notice the collection is smaller, but there are some things that were brought back. This is the Iraq War case. I was in during the Iraq War, and I like to bring to the attention this armband here. It says there is Farsi written on the top, and then SP, and then Cost. That was mine. My last name is Cost.
Oh, okay.
So when I was in Kuwait, I had to wear that on my my camouflage uniform as an armband, and at the top, that is a blood chit. That is security forces written in Farsi.
okay.
So they knew I was a police officer, and so it's kind of the same thing as we used in Japan too. So that's Farsi, and they write from left to right. It's so funny to watch them write because they write opposite.
They write all wrong.
They write wrong, yeah.
It's interesting too, there's a Bible, it says infantry battalion.
Yes. Yes, all of these are archived from Iraq, carried by our veterans and carried home by our veterans.
But you said this is a time when you weren't really supposed to bring things home?
Well, if you notice, there's a very limited, and most of this was equipment that we used.
Yeah.
Right? So like the Iraqi plate is from Iraq, but the majority of the other things are equipment that we used during the conflict,
Okay. Yeah.
not gotten from there and brought home.
Don't you think part of the reason you don't have more of these things yet is that they're still in the homes of the people who had them, and that there'll be a day when more of it is donated?
Yeah,
as
there
time
might be
goes
more
along?
donated, but as an Iraqi vet, I don't have much. I have a few trinkets that I was able to buy at the market, but as far as like grabbing things and taking them and bringing them home, I didn't really risk that because it was unauthorized. So, I mean, we may get more stuff, and we'd love to see more stuff from that
like
era.
uniforms and the like.
Absolutely, uniforms. We have a lot of uniforms. Now, this case is dedicated to a couple of our veterans. This is Mitch Fogel. He is our board vice president, and he is 25 years retired Navy. He retired as an E7 Master Chief. And then Randy, he is our library. We have a military library, and he controls the library, and he controls our collection in the computer system. Because we have a computer system that tracks every single thing we own. So like an example, somebody called up and said, hey, my dad donated my mom's stuff and I'm having some people visit. We want to come in and see it.
Yeah.
So I can pull up on the computer the name, and it'll pull up exactly where that item is. And if it's in storage, which I do often, I'll go out to storage, pull the items, put it out so that they can see it on display. We may not be using it currently in the display, but we always have those items at a moment's notice. So yeah, so this is donated by Randy and Mitch Fogel. They both were in the Navy, both retired from the Navy, and this is their case.
This collar is up too.
Well, yeah, you know, that's funny because the Navy does have those up collars. You're right. I forgot about that. Yeah. That's their dress uniform, so not a daily wear.
How do you like to keep that clean?
Oh, I was a recruiter, and the Navy recruiters used to complain because the Navy, they wear black in the winter and they wear white in the summer, and they used to hate it when they had to switch to whites because as a recruiter you get a lot of pen marks on your uniform.
Sure.
So, but that's what it is. So this case is Afghanistan. Strictly Afghanistan. This entire case was donated to us by our newest board member, Chaplain Colonel Retired Bob Lewis. He is the chaplain for the Miami County Sheriff's Department, and he is a newly elected commissioner for the Miami Valley, the Veterans Commission. He was a chaplain during the Afghanistan conflict and saw a lot, traveled quite a bit extensively. He was in Egypt, and he was in Afghanistan, of course, and he was in the UAE, and he was all over the Middle East ministering and caring for our soldiers, and he donated all of this whole case. And I love the prayer rug.
Yeah.
I love the prayer rug because
And the communion.
And the communion.
Yes, absolutely. As a military chaplain, you have to be able to administer to all faiths. Even the Muslim, Catholic, whatever that faith is, they administered it. So yeah, he has a little bit from all faiths in there. So
Very nice.
moving on. This is my best friend from high school. She went to Troy High School with me, and her and I together. I joined the Air Force, she joined the Army, and we always had this combat thing of who was better. And I'm retired E7 Master Sergeant from the Air Force. She's a retired E7 from the Army, and she was Special Forces. So when she just started jumping out of airplanes because she was airborne, I said, "You got me. You're better. You're better than me.
You're good.
Because I don't jump out of airplanes. We fix them to fly them,
there
not
you
jump
go.
out of them. Right.
Right.
But I like to bring that up because I am working on a women's display specifically for women of the Miami Valley. We're going to have a whole case full of women that served in the Miami Valley.
Nice.
And when I asked my friend for a uniform, she gave me the whole thing. So she's going to be standing next to it.
Oh, wow.
So
Cool.
this is our rations section. I love this section. Hungry?
No.
Are you hungry?
Skittles.
Right? And cigarettes. Like, okay.
yeah.
Chesterfield.
So this is what the soldiers ate, rations in the early days, 1775 to 18. They were fed just normal, open. Of course, there were no packaging then. And then we moved down to World War II rations, and that's when you start seeing sea rats. Are you familiar with sea rats? Sea rats are in cans. They came in boxes with cans. See that orange nut roll? Yummy in a can, right?
I'll bet.
Everything was in a can. And
So
I like
now wait, were they good?
my father used to tell me stories about sea rats and how awful they were.
Yeah.
He was in Korea, and I can remember him telling me stories about being in Korea during Christmas, and for his Christmas dinner he got a hamburger sea rat. And when he opened the sea rat, the hamburger's grease had congealed. It was freezing and it had congealed around it, so he literally had to scrape the grease off the hamburger in order to get to the meat inside, and he said it was awful. But I always like to bring this to everybody's attention because my dad was a funny guy. See this is called a P38. That's the can opener that they issued with it.
My father-in-law had one of those.
And they called it a P38, right?
Yeah.
My father told me that the reason why those are called P38 is because the Army has to give very, very easy instructions. So the P38 is to remind the soldier that you have to push 38 times
to get around the can. Yep.
And I literally took one of these cans. I didn't open it because I would never do that because these are old. We can't get them replaced anymore. But I kind of tried it, and I think it's true. I think that means push 38 times to open the can. Then we moved on to MREs. Of course, this is what people are familiar with. I ate many, many MREs. Some were good, some were bad. Anything in barbecue sauce is pretty good. And they always used to have that little Tabasco sauce in there. Anything that you didn't like, you just threw Tabasco sauce on it and swallowed it, you
Yep.
know?
Mike Honesty at Piqua still carries one of those.
Oh, P38 or the Tabasco sauce?
Tabasco. He's got it for everything.
Yeah, and they gave, gum and like different kind of cigarettes. There's like Camel there and Chesterfield.
Yep,
Chiclets, Salem,
yep.
all
Sorry
kinds
about
of cool stuff. Doesn't look overly appetizing, but
When you're in the field, I've had the
Anything.
best cup of coffee from a metal canteen can on in the middle of Germany in a foxhole making the best hot coffee. That was like the best cup of coffee. So it depends
bet. Yep.
the situation you're in. Sometimes they can be pretty good.
Just be thankful for that you got something.
Absolutely, absolutely. One more thing before we leave, because this case is very important here. This case is dedicated to 2 soldiers that lost their lives. One of them in Afghanistan, one of them in Iraq. We have Jeffrey Rice here. He was in the Army. He was in Iraq, lost his life during his deployment. And then we have Randy Haney. Randy Haney was in a vehicle and was killed in a roadside bomb. He has a Purple Heart and the Bronze Star for his actions, and the family donated these items to us. And you might be familiar with Jeffrey Rice. I think he has a highway named after him towards Dayton. I think Randy Haney has one in the works, but not quite one yet. But yeah, we like to always bring attention to the fact that we do lose soldiers in conflict.
Oh, yeah.
And they are remembered and loved. And their family comes in every once in a while to visit.
Pearson, I think, in Piqua was one who was killed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
In not too distant past. I mean,
this is the Hall of Honors, and this Hall of Honors is used for special events, and we rent it. On this wall, as a volunteer here, we don't get paid much. So one of the benefits of working here is, as a volunteer here, you get to put anyone's picture in a uniform or that had served on the Wall of Honors. So if you notice in these pictures, this is our board president, Ted Jones. When he served in Vietnam, he looks like he's 12.
Yeah, he does.
Doesn't he? Like,
Yeah.
that kid went off to fight in a war, really? This is a vice president of the board, Mitch Fogel. We saw his uniform. This is Gary. He's a volunteer here. He was in the Navy during Vietnam. This is our grant writer, Penny Adams. She served during Vietnam, and she was a medical tech on the USS Repose, which is a ship that was stationed right off of Vietnam.
Yeah.
She worked as an intake technician, recovering the bodies of U.S. soldiers, preparing them to be shipped back to the United States. So God love Penny. She's still with us. She
Yep.
works here. There's me. Look a little different.
your hair's a little different color.
You know what? I taught, after I retired, I taught in Piqua Middle School for a while, and I used to tell my students, the Air Force issued me these when I retired. Every single one. This is our curator, retired Chief Master Sergeant from the Air Force, John Bankowitz. This is his wife. All of our, there's Harry Christie.
Yes, we saw him earlier.
This is Jean McCreary. She's kind of a famous, she was a WASP, yes. She's going to be in our women's display. And so if you notice, all these people, this is Rick, he's one of our volunteers, like this is a volunteer, this is a volunteer. This is Chief Master Sergeant Avery Lark. He's the one who started the private collection. He's passed away, but his wife is still our board secretary, because we have a board of 15 people, and his wife is still our board secretary, so she's keeping on the he's our electrician. Jerry was just walked past, like, these are our volunteers, and I just like to bring attention to the volunteers.
Absolutely.
We need
Yeah.
volunteers all the time. You don't
need
need to
them.
be anything special. You just need to want to help.
That's just, yeah, that's what makes this museum work.
I'll tell you what, I am so amazed, like, we have moved into this building and we've only been in this building since COVID. So we've only been in this building 5 years and we have a very limited number of volunteers, and all of our volunteers are becoming as vintage as some of our archives, and they still get the job done. They still
Yeah.
get the job done.
Yeah.
So we do so much. We collect and store and care for military archives. We do a lot in the public. We speak to children in the schools. We'd love to do more school things. We have volunteers that are mostly volunteers. So if you ever need a veteran for an event, call us. We got a veteran for you. Not only that, but here's the main thing I like to say that the museum in Miami County does, is it gives a place for our veterans to come and feel productive.
Yes.
There are a lot of veterans in our community that don't feel like they are productive anymore. And come here, be productive with us.
Yeah.
Get out of your house, come talk about war stories, and work on our collection, because we would love to have you.
Yeah,
Amy,
'cause-
I want you to know how much we've appreciated the time that
oh,
you spent
absolutely.
and the amount of knowledge you have still to impart to those who might come after us. So-
Oh, come! I can talk forever, so come in, I'll tell
and
you
know,
more.
One thing we want to say back to our audience, and that is, did you hear Amy say volunteers are the most important part?
Absolutely.
So any of you who are sitting in those recliners, you know Bill and I keep talking about volunteering. Use your time. Just because you've graduated from work doesn't mean that you can't help your country. And this is one beautiful place that you could volunteer. And I've met a few of our volunteers that are here, and everyone is so pleasant.
Oh, yeah.
It couldn't be anything but a pleasant experience. So don't
So
forget,
much fun. Yep.
the Miami Valley Museum,
Veterans Museum.
the Veterans Museum would be perfect for a donation of time. So
And-
don't forget to volunteer.
We're open Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 10 to 2. We also have a website and a Facebook page of
There you
all the
go.
happenings going on at Miami Valley Veterans Museum.
Sounds good. I'm going to have to bring my friend back now.
Thank you. Yeah, bring anybody
Oh,
you
yeah.
want.
He-
It's
Bob,
free.
Bob would like this.
Bob probably would like it,
Would
yeah.
like this a lot.
Yeah, schedule your tour today.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. So
Thank
good to
you.
meet you.
Thank you.
So good to meet you both. Thank you.